Welcome to yet another edition of the Stats and Stacks podcast, where today we're going over UFC 316. Oh, sorry, Dvalishvili versus O'Malley. First things first, make sure you smash the like button. Give a follow over on Twitter, over on Instagram, over on TikTok, wherever there's social media. There is the Stats and Stacks podcast. Last week was an absolute cluster, as well as on a betting front, as well as just a watching front. Obviously, the main event getting canceled. We had to switch up our one of our locks actually got dropped because his opponent decided not to make weight, or Trevin Giles was actually hurt. Fainted or whatever, weight cutting. So then we also had another lock miss weight. So we just said, fuck it, we're getting two new locks. And that was a mistake because the initial lock in Alan Nascimento ultimately got the job done. Um, and we were forced to switch to Ryan. Oh God, Ryan Amanda. I never again. She's probably getting cut, so it doesn't matter. But it is what it is. You dance with the devil. I knew to stay away. I went with it anyway, and a lot of people got burnt on Ryan. But it is what it is. The best part of UFC, the best part about MMA is that there's always cards on. In UFC, there's seemingly one on every single week. So even when you have a shitty week like last week, you can just go ahead and restart and dust yourself off and pretend like it never happened. UFC pay-per-view this week, so it is going to be a little more better fights here. Hopefully, a little easier to figure out what's going on as we've seen these people time and time again. Some of them, there are a lot of debuting fighters. There are a lot of people making their first or second or third appearances in the octagon, and then there's other people we've been seeing for decades. So it'll be pretty interesting, a nice little mixture. 13 fights, so let's not waste your time. Let's jump right into it. Very first fight of the night, we have Markel Medeiros at minus 245 going up against Mark Choinsky at plus 200. Over under set at 2.5. Over 2.5 minus 180. Under 2.5 at plus 140. Let's start with Markel Medeiros. Markel Medeiros is trash. He's 28 years old. He fights out of Factory X Muay Thai, a gym I actually enjoy. Um, he has good striking, and he's a very point-based fighter, especially coming out of a striking gym. His takedown defense is showing 85%. It's okay, but that number seems a little skewed. He hasn't fought a lot of great wrestlers. I mean, I don't fancy Landon Quiones or Austin Hubbard as, credible wrestlers. They're sufficient in it, but they're nothing crazy. His jiu-jitsu is not great. When he's on top, he's not really a submission threat. When he's on his back, he's not a submission threat at all. He just does enough to stay safe. His cardio, it's okay. He can go a hard 15. He's very tired at the end of the 15, but he doesn't really slow down. He goes hard for the whole 15 and then is kind of gassed out at the end. He really just doesn't have a lot of KO power. He just circles and jabs, and he circles and jabs. He's really elusive, a lot of head movement, pretty hard to hit. When you do hit him, you can crack him. I've seen this dude wobbled on more than one occasion, and that's probably why he point fights. It's very annoying. It's not that exciting. It's very hard to beat though. If he again, he hasn't fought a wrestler yet, but 85% takedown defense, and you're able to just circle and jab, and you're just quicker and more elusive. It's pretty interesting here. I just wish he threw with a little more intent instead of this point-based style. The main thing I don't like about him is how much he pulls out. He was supposed to fight last week. He was supposed to fight Vilagioki, said he was not good to go, but all of a sudden he's ready to go this week against someone on short notice. Before he was supposed to fight Nazim Sadikov, he was supposed to fight Evan Elder. Those fights were too hard. I'm going to fight Landon Quiones instead. Like he's annoying. He keeps pulling out of fights and then getting easier matchups repeatedly. So I'm not his biggest fan. I don't like his fight style. I don't like how he's gaining the system. Not a big fan. We don't even know if this fight is going to take place. Or you know what? This fight is going to take place. Why? Because he essentially is handpicking opponents, and he's kind of handpicking Mark the Shark here. Mark the Shark is not great. I'll be honest with you. He's 29 years old, making his UFC debut. What Madero's overlooked is that Mark was actually scheduled to fight next week. So he was in a full training camp. Yes, it's short notice to be on this fight card, but he was having basically an entire training camp. He is a Division III wrestler, so finally someone with some semblance of wrestling to go against Madero's. He trains out of Rufus Sport. which is with Anthony Pettis, where GM3 used to train, where Sergio Pettis trains. A lot of good people. Macy Barber used to train there at one point. It's a pretty like the big camp in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He's undefeated. He is 8-0. He is he's a D3 wrestler. He has pretty solid jujitsu. His striking's okay. It's he's at a striking gym, so it's interesting. Usually you see like and ignore me with tissue and shit. My allergies are going crazy. Usually you see wrestlers go to places like Team Alpha Male or Fight Ready and places that are synonymous with wrestling. This guy is wrestling in his back pocket and has been really training his striking in jujitsu. Is his striking good? No. But he throws decently hard, and it's getting better. From fight to fight, it is getting better and better. His level of competition is trash, not very good at all. But at the end of the day, he's someone that will pressure forward. He's someone that will sprinkle in takedowns. And his jujitsu seems pretty solid. Honestly, straight BJJ for BJJ. I do think Choinski's or I'll just say Mark the Shark, is the better grappler of the two. In regards to striking, it's Medeiros, not even close. In regards to cardio, I'll say probably Medeiros. Medeiros. In regards to level of competition, I'll probably say Medeiros. But if you're giving me striker versus grappler, grapplers come out on top all the time. And Medeiros is not only just striker versus grappler, he's also a little chinny. So I think Mark has more ways to win. I think he can sub Medeiros. I don't think Medeiros can sub Mark. I think he can knock out Medeiros. I don't think Medeiros is knocking out Mark. So Mark has all the finishing upside, and I got in at plus 200. All of the line movement is going towards Mark. He's plus 170 right now. So if you want to start off the night with a dog or pass situation, I think that's the only way to take it. The pick is going to be Mark Choinski. The bet's going to be Mark Choinski. I don't think he's that great, but I don't think Medeiros is either. But be wary. He is 8-0, and in 2025, undefeated fighters lose. Next fight of the night, we have Quinlan Salkeld at minus 500 going against Yanal Ajmus at plus 350. Over under set at 2.5. Over 2.5 minus 175. Under 2.5 at plus 135. Let's start with Quinlan Salkeld. He's someone I believe in. I think he's a really good fighter, in all honesty. He is 25 years old. He's going to have a staggering 7-inch reach advantage in this matchup. He has really good jiu-jitsu. He was the Eternal MMA champion, which is like the number one MMA promotion in Australia. A lot of good guys come from Eternal. I think Colby Thickness was in Eternal. Obviously, Saul killed. I don't remember if JDM was there or not. I know that Steve Urseg was at Eternal. Like, if you're Australian and you're in the UFC now, you probably went through Eternal at some point. But yeah, he has good wrestling. He has good jiu-jitsu. His striking's okay. It's not good. It's not bad. He fights real long. He has a good jab on him, some pretty decent kicks. If you get close, he's not a fan of backing up. He doesn't like when people go in and pressure him. He likes to just kind of point strike at a distance, and then get the takedown and ultimately submit you. And he is awfully good on the ground. But in his last fight in Australia, we saw him knock out Anshul Jubilee in 20 seconds. So he does show that he has a little bit of power. It's not his first knockout. He's knocked out people in the past. All in all, I think he's a really good prospect. I think he's someone that can make some serious noise in the UFC, and someone that they need to slow build. His cardio's okay. He does get a little tired at the end, but again, he's got like 13 solid minutes in him, and then the last two get a little sketchy. But all in all, I think he's a really good prospect. On the other side, we have Yanil Ashmus. He's 30 years old. This is basically his finished product. He's the definition of a generalist. He has okay striking. He has okay wrestling. He has okay jujitsu. His cardio's pretty decent. I'll give him his cardio. He doesn't throw with a ton of volume. And his takedown defense is interesting. It shows 60% takedown defense, and I have seen him taken down on the regional scene. However, he did get taken down like 2 or 3 times like Chris Duncan. And in that Chris Duncan fight, he broke his arm. He blocked a head kick and broke his arm in round 1, and he fought the entire fight with one arm. That earned respect. Okay, this guy does not give up. He does not quit on himself. He will fight for your money. So again, 60% takedown defense when you only had one arm and you kept getting taken down. I'll cut you a little slack. This first fight in the UFC, he was a plus 300 dog. He came out and he knocked out a big, tall, skinny, young prospect in Sam Patterson. Went out there, closed the distance, and knocked him out in the first round. And then again, we had the arm break. He came back and he fought Trevor Peak. And he went out there and used his wrestling in that matchup. This guy is well rounded. He does have good game plans. Is he the greatest fighter in the world? No. But he does swing with a little bit of heat. He definitely hits harder of the two. And he goes in and he'll crash the pocket. And that's something Quinlan doesn't like. So this is going to be very, very interesting. These lines are way off. I'm a big Quinlan believer. Quinlan is going to be the pick, but I don't know if I can get behind him at minus 500. He's flying across the country. Yanal is someone that trains at Kadojo, so he will hit, or at least used to at some point, which is in Jersey. And this event is in New Jersey. So Yanal's going to have the crowd behind him. He's going to have the power shots. Both these guys can grapple each other. Both these guys can take each other down, but neither one have great top games. So I could see both of them if they get taken down, popping right back up. So it's really going to turn into quantity versus quality. And the quality is going to have the crowd behind them. So I'll go ahead and I'll pick Quinlan. I do think he's the more skilled fighter, and it will be. Is it too much too soon? I don't know. I'm not doing minus 500. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to bet Yanal as Moose. And I think I'm going to get real crazy. I like him by decision. Both these guys are durable. Him by decision is plus 900. And him by split decision is 20 to 1. And I think that's a steal of a line because I think this fight's going to be pretty close. I like the over if you want to play it a little safer. But I think it's a dog or pass situation. So the pick is going to be Quinlan. I know people hate when you do this. I'm just telling you the way I'm putting my money. I'm telling you if you're in like a picks competition, Quinlan. If you're trying to just make some dough, I'm going to go dog or pass, and I will be betting in Knowledge Moose, and I'm probably going to bet him by decision as well. Next fight of the night. We kind of have a similar situation. We have Ju Sang Yu at minus 550 going up against Jekka Saragui at plus 375. Over under set at 1.5. Over 1.5 minus 150. Under 1.5 at plus 120. Let's start with you. First and foremost, you is 31 years old, so he's not really a prospect. He only has 8 career fights, but he's in his physical prime at 31. And he is 8-0. He's undefeated. Red flag number one. He has pretty good striking. Well, sorry. Is you 31? I'm sorry. Actually went too many. Yeah, he is 31. He has pretty decent striking. He has okay wrestling, but he really counter wrestles more. He doesn't offensively wrestle a ton. He's just very hard to take down. He's a brick wall. His jujitsu is good but green. He makes a lot of mistakes on the mat. He gets himself in good positions and then will just kind of rush the finish. And he's not the greatest on the ground. He's all right, but he's there to get got. And he's cocky as shit. That's the thing I have a problem with him. When he's in there, he's one of these guys that will literally put his arms down. He has that Stephen Thompson, like kind of like karate style where his hands are real, real, real low. His cardio's good, but he'll stick his chin out and start dancing in the middle of the fight. It drives me insane. He hits decently hard, but he's someone that I cannot wait to fade. He's really, really fast, twitchy. Like the dude is quick as shit. Um, and he kicks a lot. He has a pretty good low calf kick. He loves the calf kick. He throws it over and over and over again. But when he does decide to get all cocky, get in your face, and try to just stand and bang, he is there to get hit. He's there to get countered. He's a Korean zombie student, and offensively, he's top tier. Defensively, he's a liability. So if you find someone with any semblance of power, he is there to get countered. If someone is a good counter striker, eventually this 8-0 prospect is going to get clipped. He's way, way, way too cocky in there for me to trust flying across the world at minus 550 in their UFC debut. His level of competition is ass. He has not fought anyone good. He has all the physical tools and he has a great coach. He does, and he's in the prime of his life. But do I trust it at minus 550? You're going to have to give me someone pretty bad to go out and trust a debuting undefeated fighter in 2025 at minus 550. And they did. They gave us Jekka Saragui. Jekka Saragui is not good at all. He's 30 years old. He has good striking. I love that he throws in combination. He's one of these like he'll throw like a 4 or 5 strike combo, sit back and relax, reload, throw another 4 or 5 strike combo, and repeatedly do that for about a round and a half, and then he gets really, really, really tired. But he hits hard. The dude hits extremely hard. People talk about him on Road to UFC. He was an underdog in his first fight. He went out there and got the knockout. He was an underdog in his second fight. He went out there and got the knockout. He was underdog in his third fight, and he got knocked out. But what I want you to remember is that in the road to UFC, that was at 155. He has been fighting at 145 in the UFC. So what you've seen on fight tape, a lot of it was a weight class up. And he had power then. He hits just as hard at 145, if not harder. The guy hits hard. His cardio's trash. His jujitsu's trash. His wrestling's trash. But he throws in combination and he hits extremely hard and he can knock out any man at 145. Now, did he get submitted by Weston Wilson in his last fight? Yeah, that's a terrible look. Terrible, terrible, terrible look. But he also knocked out Lucas Alexander in under a minute the fight before that. So he is the definition of puncher's chance. And all I can see is this 8-0 undefeated fighter flying across the world in his first ever UFC fight, getting cocky in there and getting absolutely clipped. At least Saragui has had, this is going to be his third UFC fight. It's going to be his fourth if you count Road to UFC in the finals. So, yeah, he's a UFC vet. And this other kid is not. So, it is what it is. It's going to be another one where the pick is going to be you. All Jekka has is a puncher's chance, but at plus 600 for the knockout, that's the way I'm betting this fight. So the pick is you. The bet, I'm going to go ahead and take Jekka, and I'm going to take him by knockout because I don't see him winning any other way. Jekka by KO. Next fight of the night. We have had three straight dog picks to start off the night. Are we going to go for a fourth in a row? Well, the answer is and no, we are not. We have Ariana De Silva at plus 400 going against Kong Wing at minus 600. The over under is not listed for whatever reason. I have no idea why. I'll probably be on the under in all honesty. And it's a combination of both of them. Kong Wang is way too big of a favorite right now, but I understand why she's favored. She's 33 years old, so she's in her prime. She has high volume. She has great striking. You're going to hear them talk about it over and over again. She's someone that beat Valentina Shevchenko in a Muay Thai fight or kickboxing. I forgot whatever it was. A striking fight. She beat Valentina. Granted, it was a long time ago. It was like 15, 20 years ago. Or not 15, 20. She was like 18 or 19 when she did it, but and she's 33 now, so it was like 15 years ago, but whatever. Moral of the point is that they're going to talk about it over and over and over again that she beat Valentina, and they're trying to push that narrative. They're trying to do the whole Alex Pereira versus Izzy all over again in women's MMA. She did lose a fight along the way, which kind of halted that momentum, losing to Gabriela Fernandez. However, I just talked about you going out there and sticking his chin out and dancing and being cocky mid fight. That's exactly what Kong Wang did. She was dominating the fight. She went out there and got cocky, put her hands down, and Gabriella head kicked the fuck out of her. Like just put her down. And then she swung around, snatched up that neck, and took it home. So did she go out there and just get starched by Gabriella? No, she was dominating the fight. She got cocky, she started dancing, and she got caught. And you can't do that in MMA. You can't do that in the UFC. These gloves are too small. These people are too talented. They hit way too hard. But she hits hard herself. She will take times where she just wants to outpoint you and kind of play around and dance around the outside. But there are other times when she goes out there and she just finishes you. So she can get the knockout if she wants. Level of competition's a little so-so. Um, but this fight is very, very reminiscent of the Bruno Bazil fight, in my opinion. Um, she also has good cardio, and she will sprinkle in a takedown here and there. I did forget to mention she has 100% takedown defense. So if Ariana's strategy is to wrestle, she might be in some trouble because Kong Wang is pretty big, and she might be the better wrestler in all honesty. And that just reminds me of the Bruno Brazil fight. Bruno Brazil was an accredited striker, just not to the level of Kong Wang. She tried a few takedowns against Kong Wang. It didn't work, and she was forced to stand. And Kong Wang just had her way. And I could see Ariana Lipski going through the same thing here. She's 31. Again, she has good striking. She has good jujitsu, but she has bad wrestling. She cannot wrestle whatsoever. 68% takedown defense. Defensively, offensively, even worse. She's pretty hittable, and she's very chinny. That is a problem that she's ran into time and time again. She has been dropped by Jazz Davicius. She got knocked out by Priscilla Cachoeira. She's been knocked out by Montana De La Rosa. She got knocked out by Antonina Shevchenko. She's been knocked out multiple times, even back on the regional scene. She got knocked out in round one. So two of them were ground and pound. They were TKOs, but she just got straight flatlined and knocked out cold multiple times as well. Um, her um, her cardio checks out, but she just kind of lost her violent side. She got married, she found God, and that's good for her on a personal note. In regards to her pockets, she's not the queen of violence anymore. She has definitely lost that moniker. She goes out there and doesn't want to hurt anybody, kind of Rory McDonald style. And it's not equaling success. She is on a two-fight losing streak, and it's not getting any better here now fighting Kong Wang. I don't know what she's supposed to do. She can't wrestle. So she's going to be forced to strike. She has good counters. She's a very, very good counter striker. But if you're telling me it's a 15-minute striking affair, I'm taking Kong Wang. If you're telling me someone's getting takedowns, I think it's Kong Wang. I, I think it's Kong Wang. Do I like the price? No. Is that going to be the pick? Yes. Is that going to be the bet? Probably not a minus 600, but then you have to pick a prop. Is it going to be by decision or by KO? And we don't know because that over under is not out yet. So as of right now, it's just extreme chalk at Kong Wang at minus 600, parlaying it for now until they drop that over under and give me some props, and I'll make a decision then on Kong Wang. Next fight of the night. We are going back to the dog well, baby. We got Chaos Williams at minus 190 going up against Andreas Berg Gustafsson at plus 160. Over under set at 1.5. Over 1.5 minus 155. Over 1.5 minus 155. Under 1.5 at plus 120. Let's start with Gustafsson. He was supposed to fight last week. Again, Giles pulled out. They're like, would you like to fight the following week and fight Chaos Williams on pay-per-view instead? He said, hell yeah, let's get after it, brother. And you know what? Andreas is trash. He's not good. He's not good at all. He's 34 years old. He loves to pressure forward. He has a sambo wrestling background in his back pocket, but he's not the world's greatest wrestler. He's one of these people that believe in clinch control, and they'll just push you up against a cage and beat you up from there. He has a ton of power. He only pressures forward. He doesn't know how to fight going backwards. He only wants to go forward. But all in all, his striking just okay. It's really rudimentary. His wrestling's okay. He's good at clinch control and keeping you against a cage, but he's not always getting takedowns. His jiu-jitsu is all right. His cardio has looked good and it's looked bad. I'm not too sure. He does have a little bit of a newsman chin. I've seen him rocked in multiple fights. So it is just a matter of time until he goes out. It could very well be this fight, in all honesty. Um, he just is a clinch king. He's very fraudulent. He's fought a very low level of competition, like very, very low level of competition. So it's up in the air, the verdict on this guy. But as of right now, I'm getting fraudulent vibes, and he's someone that I'm going to want to fade. I said before, you was a future fade. I think Andreas is a future fade. The reason I'm not going to fade him in this matchup, especially because he just made weight. It does scare me as Chin even more. He made weight and now he's cutting weight again the consecutive week. That can hurt your durability. But again, the reason I'm not going to fade him here and I'm going to take him is a line based fight. Chaos Williams is nothing to write home about. He's 31 years old. He has good striking. He hits decently hard. And I'm thinking, all right, initially I'm all over Chaos. I thought about locking Chaos. He's probably going to knock out Andreas in like 30 seconds. It's probably the way it's going to go. But although he's fought a good level of competition and hits really hard, his takedown defense is trash. 60% takedown defense. If there's someone Andreas is taken down, it's Chaos. He's very hard to hold down. But I don't think Andreas cares. I don't think he even wants to get the fight taken down. I think he just wants to grab a hold of a clinch and beat you up. And I saw Chaos fight Michel Pereira. Michel grabbed the clinch and beat the fuck out of Chaos. It was a very, very close fight. But when he, excuse me, when he had the clinch, he had a Muay Thai plum, and he kicked the fuck out of Chaos. Like Chaos does not know what to do in the clinch, and he's fighting a clinch king. That's not good. We saw Gabriel Bonfim grab a clinch. He was getting takedowns from there. But again, we saw Ronaldo Bedoya grab a clinch. And it ultimately went to a split decision. Anytime someone clinches Chaos, he's not great at it. And now he's going against someone that's all they do. I don't hate the under in this matchup. I think Chaos can spark Berg in 2 seconds. I think Berg can just hold Chaos against the fence and beat the hell out of him until he can't take any more. So the under is live, but the under's aligned at 1.5, and that's where it throws me off. If I'm going to chase some money, I'm just going to go ahead and chase the dog. So the pick is going to be Berg. The bet is going to be Berg. I don't like betting people that cut weight twice, but he does exactly what Chaos struggles with, and matchups make fights. Speaking of, next fight of the night, Sergey Spivak minus 140 going up against Waldo Cortez Acosta at plus 120. Over under set at 2.5. Over 2.5 plus 120. Under 2.5 minus 150. This is the definition of styles make fights. Sergey Spivak is 30 years old. He is a BJJ black belt. He is very good on the ground. He's a very good wrestler. He's more of a upper body throw Greco-Roman type guy. He's not just going to go and shoot doubles and singles. He's not good at that. But good Lord, if he gets a hold of your body or your head, you're going for a ride. He will toss you wherever he wants to toss you. Very, very good upper body wrestling. Good jujitsu, very high IQ. He knows what he has to do. His striking is improved. It's okay. But the problem I have with him is how hittable he is and the fact that he's kind of slow and a little chinny. If he's fighting someone like Marcin Tarbora, or he's fighting like nowadays, or he's fighting a Derek Lewis, these heavyweights that are a little chunkier, slow, laboring, Carlos Felipe, Taito Ivasa, he's going to grab a hold of them. He's going to toss them down to the ground, and he's going to beat the fuck out of them. Jared Vandera, Alessio Linnet. But if he fights someone that is athletic, someone that can move their feet, someone that hits hard and has some quick hands and quick foot movement, such as a Walt Harris, such as a Tom Aspinall, such as a Cyril Gahn, Gelton Almeida. If you're an athlete, they're all knocking him out. Cyril, knockout. He doesn't knock out a lot of people. Gelton, knockout, round one. He doesn't knock out a lot of people. Tom Aspinall, knockout, round one. He knocks out everyone. Walt Harris, knockout, round one. And then Marcin is his only decision loss. So all of his losses are by KO to extremely fast, extremely athletic guys. That is his kryptonite. If you're an athlete, he struggles. If you're a fat boy, he tosses you to the side and beats the shit out of you. What is Waldo Cortez Acosta? He is a fat, athletic guy. So I don't really know. His hand speed is fast. His jab is crisp. Um, he doesn't have a ton of power though, so he's not a Walt Harris hitting him. He's not a Jailton or a Cyril hitting him. So he doesn't have a ton of power, but he has enough. Sergey is not the most durable guy, and he has pretty decent movement, but his takedown defense is ass. So I don't really know. He is an athlete, but he played professional sports. But as a baseball player, it's not like it's not like he was a pro football player prior to. He was a baseball pitcher. So I don't know. He's a little bit of both. He has good striking. His level of competition and schedule is okay. His jujitsu's ass. His cardio is really good. He has very good cardio for this weight class. His volume's really high. He's more of a point fighter himself, but he's 66% takedown defense, and he seems to struggle with wrestlers. We saw Thomas Peterson win a few rounds off him until Waldo eventually got him. We saw um, freaking Marcus Rogerio de Lima beat the shit out of him because of leg kicks and because of wrestling. Yeah, if he's forced to wrestle, it's not his forte. Outside of those two, Lucas Bresky's not a wrestler. Andre Arlovsky's not. Ruben Bellis to Spain not. Ryan Spann will try to shoot takedowns, but he used to fight at middleweight. This fight was at heavyweight. He beat up a 185 pounder. So I don't know. I don't know what to do with this fight. I will go ahead and I'll pick Spivak. The bet's probably going to be Spivak. I don't hate the under 2.5 at minus 150 because if Acosta wins, it's probably by KO with the quick hand speed. He just doesn't hit that hard. And if Spivak wins, he's probably getting a ground and pound knockout or a submission. I could see him finishing Acosta as well. So I do think the under 2.5 is really live, but that's minus 150. Sergey itself is minus 140. Yeah, that's close enough. I'm just going to take the under, not choose a side, and we're just going to choose violence because they can both win in that fashion. So the pick is Sergey. The bet's going to be the under 2.5. Next fight of the night. We're going to talk about murder. We have Azmat Mirzakhanov, nicknamed Murder Khanov, at minus 600, going up against Bredson Ribeiro at plus 400. Over under set at 1.5. Over 1.5 plus 125. Under 1.5 minus 160. Let's start with Murder Khanov. Murder Khanov is old. He's 36 years old, but he has good striking. He's extremely fast. He has a ton of power. We talk about undefeated fighters. He's 14 and 0. His level of competition's good. His jiu-jitsu is not very good. His wrestling for being a Russian is not great, but he knows how to do it. He just doesn't like to do it for two reasons. One, he's small. He's really, really small for 205, but he's one of these people that are cutting less weight and being smaller, helping him be faster. 205, 95% of the weight class strikes. So he's not concerned about his size. He just wants to go out there and be faster than you. And it works because everyone in the weight class is a striker. So can a big juice head come up and just grab a hold of him and throw him down to the ground? Probably. It's 83% takedown defense. But again, no one's going to wrestle. And he's using the speed as a weapon. He throws pretty decent volume to go along with his extreme power. Like the guy is just an athlete. He's really, really good, but he's 36 years old. Um, and he's basically fighting up a weight class. So you do have to be cognizant of there's a ceiling. Once he hits a certain level, once he hits the top five, he is in a little bit of trouble. But as of right now, wins over Dustin Jacoby, wins over Alonzo Benefield. He's looking good. Was training out of K Dojo, which again is in Jersey. So if anyone, he will probably have the crowd behind him. On the other side, we have Bredson Ribeiro. Bredson Ribeiro is probably the worst 205 pounder on the roster. He's 28 years old. His striking is not great, but he hits hard. His jiu-jitsu is not great, but he will have an active guard. His wrestling is ass. He is rocking a 0% takedown defense, has never stuffed a takedown inside of the UFC. And he's not fighting world class wrestlers. He's fighting Gadzi Zulov. He's fighting Kyle Machado. Like these aren't world class wrestlers. So 0% takedown defense is atrocious. He's 28. So he is improving each and every fight, but he's really hittable. He has bad cardio. I mean, literally bad cardio. He's chinny as fuck. He's been knocked out in almost every single one of his losses. So he has no chin. He has no cardio. He has no takedown defense. That's not a good combination. And he's very, very hittable on the feet. So he's terrible. Mirzakhanov was supposed to fight someone in like the top 10, and now he's fighting Brenton Ribeiro. So that was a weird change. And he's going to murder him. Murder Khanov will be in the building. And I don't care if he was minus 2,000, it's probably justified. The pick is going to be Azmat. The bet's going to have to be Asmat. I don't want to play him by KO. Murder Khanov by KO is minus 270, and that's way too steep for a prop. So I'd rather just eat the chalk at minus 600 or take the under 1.5. I don't think this thing makes it out of 1.5 at minus 160. That's probably what I'm going to do. So the pick is going to be Asmat. The bet's going to be the under 1.5 because I need to get it at a bettable line. Next fight of the night, we have the prelim main event. We have Fearless Joshua Van at minus 600. These lines are crazy all day today. They have some big lines here. Going up against Bruno Silva at plus 400. Over under set at 2.5. Over 2.5 minus 200. Under 2.5 at plus 150. Let's start with Fearless Joshua Van. I love Joshua Van. I think he's a really, really, really good fighter. I think he's a potential world champion in years to come. He's 23 years old with a wealth of experience already, being 13-2. The dude fights seemingly every other week. In all honesty, he takes short notice fights over and over and over again. He has good striking. He loves to work the body, and I love that. He has weaponized cardio. The dude does not stop going. His jujitsu is getting better and better and better, and he's showing it each and every fight. His takedown defense is getting better and better and better. He's showing it each and every fight. Again, his last fight out against Ray Sayura. Ray's a funky wrestler, and I thought that would kind of give Josh Van some issues, but he handled it. Even when he got taken down, he had a good get up game, and he got right back up. He had an urgent get up game. He does not play guard. He gets the fuck up. He is on pace to set a record in regards to volume. He is statistically the number one significant strikes per minute in UFC history. He throws over 8 significant strikes per minute. So he has extremely high volume, extremely good cardio to go with it. He hits decently hard. He's not like just one punching anyone, but he can hurt you on the feet. The biggest problems with Joshua Van are twofold. One, he's a really slow starter. He has lost the first round in all but one UFC fight. The Ray Sayura fight is the first one where he actually won round one. Every other UFC fight he lost. Cody Durden lost round one. Edgar Chairez lost round one. Charles Johnson was pretty close, actually. I couldn't tell who won that one. Felipe Buns lost round one. Kevin Borjas lost round one. Zalga Zumagulov lost round one. And why? Why is he losing all these round ones? But he keeps getting dropped. He's chinny. He is not just going out there and getting KO'd. He has been KO'd once by Charles Johnson in round 3, but he got dropped by Kevin Borjas. He got dropped by Felipe Buns. He got dropped by Edgar Chairez. He got knocked out by Charles Johnson. The dude gets rocked every single fight. And I think part of that is how often he's fighting. If this motherfucker would just take a break, his chin would be able to recover. And this is a big break for him. We have not seen him since March. And they're going to be like, since March? That was 2 months ago. Yeah, that's a big break for him. Honestly. Yeah, this dude fights all the fucking time. I actually thought it was further back than March. I guess not. But the other good thing is he didn't take a lot of damage in that Ray fight. He dominated. And Ray as a wrestler, he didn't really swing. And Cody Durden really just kind of wrestles too. So the last time he fought a striker was in 2024. So that's good for his chin, and it makes me more confident in him. On the other side, we have Bruno Silva. Bruno Silva is someone that has fought a good level of competition. If you're not top 15, you're not beating Bruno Silva. If you are top 15, you're probably running through Bruno Silva. He's 35 years old, so he's kind of going towards the end of his career. He has good striking. He's a BJJ black belt. He has good jiu-jitsu. His wrestling's all right. He's showing a 60% takedown defense. But that's against like Tagir and Bekov and a good level of competition. Um, his wrestling's all right. He trains at fight ready. He knows what's going on. He hits decently hard. He does have some power in those hands, which scares me. He has good cardio. He can be chin checked himself. He's not just going out there and getting knocked out all the time. But he can get wobbled in a lot of fights as well. He'll mix in takedowns here and there. He'll probably try to do so against Joshua Van, but again, Joshua has that urgent get up game. He's a little hittable, and his volume's pretty low. And that's a problem. He hits really, really hard. He just doesn't throw enough as he should. And Joshua Van doesn't stop fucking throwing. So who hits harder? Bruno. Bruno could definitely knock out Joshua Van at any point in these 15 minutes. But if he doesn't, Joshua Van's going to triple, quadruple him in strikes. It's going to be insane. He's going to land 8 significant strikes per minute. Bruno's going to land 2. Like it's going to be very, very bad. So the pick is going to be Joshua Van. The bet, I'm probably leaning towards Bruno. Just got knocked out in his last fight against Minel Kopp, and that was only that was 5 months ago. He took a decent amount of time off. Uh, I'm not really going to touch this over under. I'll probably leave it alone. It's just going to unfortunately probably be Van minus 600. There's not really much you can do. They're giving us shit lines here. So the pick is Joshua Van. The bet's going to ultimately be Joshua Van, but I am scared. The right thing to do is just pass because Bruno can crack him at any time. And minus 600, you're not getting much. So in all honesty, you should just pass on that fight. But if you're forced to, it'd be Joshua Van money line. Then we have the pay-per-view portion of the card. If you haven't already, smash the like button. Give a follow over on Twitter, over on Instagram, over on TikTok, wherever there's social media. There's the Stats and Stacks podcast. We have Vicente Luque at plus 225 going up against welterweight Kevin Holland at minus 275. Over 1.5 minus 175. Under 1.5 at plus 135. Let's go ahead and start with the Trailblazer, Kevin Holland. Everyone loves some Trailblazer. I think he's all right. I don't think he's the greatest thing in the world. He has good striking. It used to be sneaky jujitsu, but now everyone knows about it. He's going to have a 5-inch reach advantage. He's fought a good level of competition both at middleweight and welterweight. He goes back and forth, and his much better fighting is at welterweight. So I'm so glad this fight's at 170. His takedown defense is trash. But he's really durable. The crowd loves him, but I believe Luque is originally born in Jersey. So I don't know which way the crowd's going to lean here. It's going to be pretty interesting. But again, Holland's 32. He has a 5-inch reach advantage. He hits extremely hard. He has bad takedown defense, but he's just decided, fuck takedown defense. I'm going to have an even more active guard. It's been working. He beat someone like Gunnar Nelson, who was world class on the ground, and was able to go tit for tat on the ground with Gunnar Nelson. It was impressive. Could he do that against Reiner de Ritter or Roman Dolidze? No. But that's because they're world class and they're fucking huge. Gunnar Nelson was half his size. And Vicente Luque is going to be smaller than him again. So I do like Kevin Holland on the feet more. And on the ground, I think he can hold his own. On the other side with Vicente Luque, again, I don't know what the crowd's going to do in this matchup. And I don't think it's going to matter because Vicente has pretty good striking. He has pretty good jiu-jitsu. He has okay wrestling, and he will mix in takedowns here and there. But ever since that brain bleed, he has not been the same guy. He does not want to go and play Rock'em Sock'em Robots anymore. He used to go out there and let you hit him as long as he could hit you back even harder. And that's what he used to do over and over and over again until all that damage catches up. And we saw him get knocked out against Kevin Neal, or sorry, wow, against oh god, Neal, Jeff Neal. We saw him get knocked out and basically quit against Joaquin Buckley, and that's when I said I'm done. I did go ahead and I took him against Themba Gorimbo because Themba's trash. But Kevin Holland is not Themba Gorimbo. Luque was a really, really, really good fighter back in the day. He's only 33 years old, but in fight years, he's like 55. He is just a shell of himself. And I know Kevin Holland takes nothing seriously, but I'm pretty sure Vicente Luque is just physically not able to compete. So the pick is going to be Kevin Holland. The bet's going to be Kevin Holland. I don't like him at minus 275, but with all these minus 600s, we're going to have to take it. Next fight of the night, we have Mario Batista plus 145 going up against the debuting Patchy Mix at minus 175. Over 2.5 is minus 190. Under 2.5 at plus 145. Let's just go ahead and start with Patchy Mix, the pride and joy of Western New York. He's 31 years old, so he's in his prime. He has world class jiu-jitsu, really, really, really good BJJ. He has good wrestling. He has okay striking. He's going to have a 2-inch reach advantage in this matchup. His cardio is really good. His schedule is really good. He's technically taking this on short notice, which is true. Unlike some of the other fighters that had other fights booked, he had nothing booked. But it's not like it's a 1 or 2 week notice. Like he's had 5 or 6 weeks to prepare. Your usual camp is like 8 to 12 weeks, so he had just shy under like the average. It is what it is. The best way to be ready is to stay ready, and that's coming from him himself. He's good. He's world class. People don't know about him. He's again the PFL champion. Finally got granted his release so he could come to the UFC. And he's someone that could win 1 or 2 fights and then be fighting for the title. Main training partner right now, the bantamweight champion Marab Dvalishvili. So yeah, he's from New York. They're in Jersey, so he will have the crowd behind him. He'll have the hype behind him, and he deserves it. He's a damn good fighter. He is a top 5 guy in the world. On the other side, we have Mario Batista. He's also 31 years old, fighting out of MMA Lab, like Sean O'Malley, but Sean kind of did his own thing for this fight camp. He's 31. He has good striking. He has okay wrestling. He has okay jiu-jitsu. He's kind of public enemy #1 right now after just kind of cage controlling Jose Aldo in his last fight. The crowd is not fond of Mario Batista right now. He has 66% takedown defense himself, though. We saw Damon Blackshear come in and take him down like 5 times. We saw Ricky Simone get him down a few times. We saw a lot of people take him down. Benito Lopez take him down a few times. Yeah, he's not the world's greatest wrestler, but it has improved as of late. He throws pretty decent volume. And honestly, he does nothing wrong. He's an okay wrestler. He's an okay jiu-jitsu practitioner. He has good fight IQ. He's a good striker. He doesn't hit overly hard, but he is slightly chinny. We've seen him rocked on more than one occasion, and I believe all of his losses are by KO. Trevin Jones KO, Corey Sandhagen armbar. I take that back. Um, but we've seen him drop multiple times. So his chin is something to be cognizant of. But at the end of the day, although I do think he's a top 10 guy, I think Patchy Mix is a top 5 guy. I don't like how much Patchy gets hit. He does stick his head out there and he's a little hittable by design. But he's awfully durable. He's 31. He's in his prime, and Mario's not a power puncher that I'm scared of. So the pick is going to be Patchy Mix. The bet's going to be Patchy Mix. And I think he can submit him. I think he can knock him out. I think he can decision him. I think he can do whatever he damn well pleases. Pick is Patchy, bet is Patchy. Next fight of the night is a rescheduled fight, so we can kind of fly through it. We have Kelvin Gastelum plus 290 going up against Joe Pyfer at minus 425, over 2.5 minus 125, under 2.5 at minus 105. This fight was supposed to take place in Mexico City, but Joe Pyfer got food poisoning. Joe Pyfer's 28. He has a 4-inch reach advantage. He has good striking. He has okay wrestling. He has good jiu-jitsu. He just got promoted to brown belt. He has a ton of power. He's rocking a 50% takedown defense, which was interesting to me, but not a lot of takedown attempts against him, so that number is a little skewed. His main training partner, Sean Brady, and Sean Brady just took down Kelvin Gastelum and submitted him at will. So that's probably what Joe Pyfer is going to look to do. Pyfer is notorious for gassing out in his first main event and losing because of cardio. He doesn't have the best cardio, but he's a Philly guy. This fight is in Jersey. Philly is right next to Jersey. He'll have the crowd behind him. He'll have a huge size advantage. And he's probably honestly going to do exactly what his main training partner did in John Brady. Just get the takedown and go for the submissions or hold control, whatever he has to do. Could he stand with Gastelum? Absolutely. What's the path of least resistance? The takedown. What did he do in his last fight against Marc-Andre Barrio? He knocked out the old chinny guy. That was smart. What did he do against Abdul Razak Al-Hassan? He didn't strike with the crazy striker. He took him down and choked him out. He has good fight IQ, and they're going to know what worked before, and they're going to go to do it again. So I like Pyfer to wrestle here. Gastelum, although he is known as a good wrestler, 58% takedown defense, so shockingly low as well. He has good striking. He's a great level of competition. He's really durable, although he's been getting rocked as of late. So be aware that his chin is a little older than his 33-year-old age is showing. His jiu-jitsu, he's a BJJ black belt on paper, but his BJJ is not that great. His cardio is good though. But he's really 175, 170 pound fighter. He fought Sean Brady at 170, said, you know what, that one's going 170 again is way too tough. I'm going back up to 185. And I don't like that for him. He's not a 185 pounder. Everyone knows this. Everyone has said this forever. And here he is back up at 185. He's just too small. He's super, super talented. Fought for a world title at 185, but lost because he was too small. Joe Pyfer is too big. Joe Pyfer's massive. He's going to tower over Gaslam, and size matters. So the pick is going to be Joe Pyfer. The bet's going to be Joe Pyfer. I was scared at altitude. There is no altitude in Jersey. I'm going to pick and bet be Joe Pyfer. Get him body bags. Then that takes us to the co-main event of the evening and our first title fight of the night. Juliana Pena, as the sitting champion, is plus 425, going up against Kayla Harrison at minus 650. Over under set at 4.5. Over 4.5 plus 140. Under 4.5 minus 185. Let's start with Pena because Pena's kind of trash. She's 35 years old, so she's getting a little older. Her jiu-jitsu's okay offensively. Defensively, a little bit of a liability. Her wrestling's okay. Offensively. Defensively, rocking 23% takedown defense. Her striking is abysmal. It's really, really bad. I heard someone compare it to DDP, where she just blitzes forward and just throws, and it does not look pretty. And that is very, very comparable. Like, that's a good comparison. Her striking's bad. Her wrestling's not great. Her jiu-jitsu's not great. Her cardio's really good. And she'll have a 3-inch reach advantage. But that's all she has going for her. Cardio and a will to win. She is a fighter. She is not an MMA, and she's not a mixed martial artist. She is just a straight up fighter. She has had legal issues in the past because she's fighting not in the octagon. And when she's in the octagon, if you submit her, you're choking her unconscious. The problem is people do that. Jermaine Durandamine did that, and she was like a Dutch kickboxer. Valentina armbarred her. Valentina's a Muay Thai practitioner. Um, Sarah Morais was a doctor stoppage. Deanna Bennett just won a decision. But yeah, the fact that she's getting submitted by kickboxers is very, very concerning. She will fight for your money, but she's just not very good. On the other side, we have Kayla Harrison, who's a little bit of a one-trick pony. She's 34 years old, and she is a gold medal judoka. She is world-class judo. Her jujitsu is good. Her striking's trash. Her cardio, she can slow down in fights, and we've never seen her fight 5 rounds at 135. You've seen her at 155 in the PFL. She said she cannot make 135. She got a nutritionist. She works all year around, and she has been able to make 135, but she's never made 135 on the dot for championship weight, and she has never fought 5 rounds at that weight. So, can she adrenaline dump? Absolutely. Will she? Probably not, because I think she takes her down and submits Juliana before she gets a chance to gas out. 27% takedown defense against a gold medalist is scary. Kayla should literally rip her arm off. If a Muay Thai striker can armbar you, I think the judoka gold medalist should be able to, or ground and pound her out. It ain't going to be on the feet. They're both trash on the feet. They are two of the worst strikers in UFC. Not just their weight class, in UFC. Both their striking's ass. Juliana will be pressuring forward. That's all she knows how to do. And I think she's just going to go for a ride, and then we'll see what happens from there. I think it's Harrison. I think it's Harrison early by finish. But if anything, you can't bet this. I'll probably ultimately live bet Pena if I see Harrison getting tired. If Harrison starts breathing heavy in round 2 or 3, I'm going to live bet Pena. If she already has 3 rounds booked or bagged and it's not even close and her breathing seems fine, you got to stay away. Minus 650 is ridiculous. Don't do that. She will be the pick. But I'll either take the under 4.5 at minus 185. What I prefer to do is really just live bet Pena if Harrison looks tired. then that takes us to the main event of the evening. And the reason you're here, we have the Sugar Show, Sean O'Malley at plus 235, going up against the Machine, Merab Dvalishvili at minus 290. Over under set at 4.5. Over 4.5 minus 300. Under 4.5 plus 210. The rematch that nobody asked for, but I'm happy we got. Merab is an absolute machine. He's 19-4. He's 34 years old, so he's in his prime, about to leave his prime. He has good wrestling. He has good jiu-jitsu. He has okay striking. His level of competition is impeccable. He throws pretty decent volume, and he is the definition of weaponized cardio. No man, no woman has better cardio in the UFC, in UFC history, than the machine, Merab Dvalishvili. He does not get tired. He doesn't breathe heavy. He doesn't even breathe out his fucking mouth. He just fights 25 minutes and acts as if he can do another 25. It's absolutely insane. You can't outpoint Barab. You're too tired to do so. What you need to do is knock him out. And you can, or you can choke him out. Because you can. I've seen him choked out in the past, and I've seen him chin checked multiple times. We saw him get hurt against Sean O'Malley in the first fight. We saw him get rocked with the left hook against Henry Cejudo. We saw him rocked with the left hook against Jose Aldo. We saw him rocked with the left hook against Marlon Moraes. Like, we see this guy. Actually, Cody Stamen stung him too. This guy gets stung all the fucking time. Like, it's not hard to hit this guy. He's just not going out. Eventually, he's going to go out, but he just hasn't gone out as of late. But I think that's how you do it. I think you're going to have to go out and you're going to have to just put him all the way out. Otherwise, he's a fucking machine. He's not going to stop going forward. He's not going to stop pressuring you. And you're not going to get him out of your face because he's not going to get tired. And I think Sean O'Malley is someone that has the power to do it, to finally be the one to put Merab out. Sean O'Malley is 30 years old. He have a 4-inch reach advantage. He has good striking. He has some of the biggest power in the weight class. His jiu-jitsu is sneaky good. It's really, really good. I think it's just as good as Merab's. He has quit social media. He has been training one-on-one with one of the goats and Mighty Mouse and getting his head, kind of figuring out what to do here, using him essentially as a full-time coach. He has stopped smoking weed. So he's trying to work on his overall lung capacity and cardio, knowing about this fight. He did not dye his hair. He said this isn't the Sugar Show. This is Sean O'Malley coming back. Sean O'Malley was a pretty dedicated fighter. He's done buying his own pipe. He's ready to come in and get his title back. I like everything that Sean O'Malley's doing. I like everything Sean O'Malley's saying. He had a hip issue his last fight, had surgery, is recovered, and is ready to go this go around. He throws high volume. He can get tired here and there, but he can also go a hard 25 minutes. 61% takedown defense is not a good number whatsoever. But if he has some sort of answer in regards to getting up this go around, I think Merab's in trouble. And the last part I'll say is Merab was talking about going out there and striking with Sean this time. The last time they fought, Merab looked really nervous. It was his first ever title fight, and he just executed the game plan, no matter how boring it was. Now that he went out there and he won the title, he has popularity. He beat an arch nemesis and defended his title. When he says he's going to go out there and strike with Sean, I kind of believe him. We just saw Bilal Muhammad go do that, and it didn't work. And I could see it happening again. And if the UFC had any say whatsoever, if this thing goes to decision and it's close enough, they're going to give it to Sean. They don't want Merab's champ. And if they do go out there and decide to strike with each other, it's going to go to Sean. Sean's probably going to catch Merab and put him out because he hits hard, and Merab doesn't have a chin. So he has multiple paths to win here. He's the plus 235 underdog. I don't think we'll ever see that number on Sean O'Malley again. So this is going to sound crazy. The pick is the Sugar Show. The bet is the Sugar Show and Sean O'Malley and new. And that's UFC 316. It's a good pay-per-view. It's a fun pay-per-view. And as always, it's a lot more fun when we're winning money. Let's get after it.